Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the case fatality rate, which is the number of people who died that have been confirmed COVID-19 positive. Um, this graph here is the estimated cumulative excess deaths during COVID. The current death rate, which is attributed to COVID, is about 5.2 million, which is here. So there's been a lot more excess deaths. There's been between 10 million and 20 million. And if you divide by the number infected, this makes the death rate a lot higher than what it appears to be. It appears to be 2%, but that graph I just showed you suggests it's between 4 and 8%. In all the calculations I've been doing, I've been using a conservative value of 3. I know that the death rate has dropped. We've improved our standards, but there's lots of unanswered excess deaths. And here we look at, just come up, Russia. These are the COVID deaths. These are the excess deaths. I mean, there's a lot more excess deaths than there are COVID deaths. I don't know if they've actually subtracted that from that or not. I don't think they have. If they have, it would be amazing. So this graph is really down here somewhere. So the excess deaths is all between here. It's all of the area between these two curves. And we look at other countries. We can look at the United Kingdom, because they were interesting at the beginning, because they were hiding a lot of their deaths, as were Spain and France. So here you see, on the same scale, there's a few more, these excess deaths in the bottom here. So it's a few more excess deaths. Actually, since this curve dips here, I don't think that they have actually, this is on top of the COVID deaths. This is on top of the COVID deaths. This is the excess on top of that. So they've been lying and lying and lying. Okay, let's look at the USA. USA, it's got both UK, I'll get rid of UK. USA seems pretty steady. Number of excess deaths is almost equal to the number of COVID deaths. A lot of people say they label the deaths as COVID, but the data is not showing that. It's showing the opposite of that, that even more people have died from COVID than they've said. Canada's the same as well. It's got a few here. I mean, these all add up, you know, like was this a day, like 500 in a million, sorry, 500 in a million. It's quite a lot. It's nearly as much as the ones they classified as COVID. Looks like they're starting to get it right now, but they didn't have it right then. Okay, let's have a look at Spain, because Spain and Italy, I'm sure they've fiddled everything. So I want to get rid of these other countries, Canada, United States, Spain. You can see that the excess deaths here, look at the excess deaths here. It was like double the number of like COVID deaths. So during the early stages of 2020, Spain was lying. And it was actually, the lie got so bad at one time, it looked like Spain had reached herd immunity. And people were talking about that because there weren't any deaths at all, because they weren't even classifying them as COVID. Russia was the first one I showed they had 6 times as many excess, 6 times as many excess deaths as COVID deaths, which we believe are COVID now. So Spain was lying, still very high. What the hell is going on here? Well, is anyone telling the truth? Is anyone telling the truth? Let's look at Italy, same thing. See excess deaths here. They just follow this curve. It's just like double, you know, they estimate it to be half. I'll look at Australia, because Australia had very few yes, in Australia, these are COVID deaths. I think we've lied as well, but the reason we've got this big dip here is Australia went through a phase where we had no flu deaths, and we usually have, well, a reasonable number during the year. So this, we seem to have miscalculated there maybe, and maybe here as well, and maybe this whole period, you know, Australia, you know, because we need to take away all other deaths. It's quite difficult to make judgments about this, but Italy, did I look at Italy? Sorry, India. Look at India. India officially says they had like maybe 2 million deaths, but in reality it could have been up to 7 million. I heard at the time that it might even been close to 10 million more. But anyhow, it's somewhere between the range of 1 million and 7 million. I think they're saying that they are around 2. I'm not sure, but it looks very low. It looks wrong. Just looks wrong.